Okay, so we're just going to wait a few minutes and see if we have a few persons coming on. Okay. If there's anyone here, please leave your comments. Say hi in the comment section. All right, waiting. Okay, all right. So, hey, Chanel, thanks for joining. You're on time. I know Jamaican people don't know time, or maybe some people are getting into work. But then again, isn't it holiday? Or shouldn't be persons off the road by now? Where are the folks? We are waiting on you so that we can get this live started. Chanel, let me know if you're hearing me okay. Let me know if you are hearing me okay. Okay. Where is my mother? She should be on here already. Jonah, go on good, What should happen? Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, Chanel. So hearing me loud and clear. Okay, great. Okay. Just waiting for, you know. Okay. Hey, Kaz. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have you here. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. All right. So Chanel was our first guest. Okay, nice. And we have Baldwin Morrison, that's my cousin. We have Samantha Salsa. Thank you. Okay, just waiting on a few more people. Okay, okay. Okay. Um, I wonder if persons are over on the other live. Let me see. Because we had started before, but then I ended it. Okay. Let's see. Um, okay. All right. So I'm just going to send over the new link because apparently the other one ended. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. This is my first time going live. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Joan is here. All right. Rowan is here. Okay. Aldon is here. All right. Great. Okay. All right. So here we have some conversation starting. Baldwin is saying, just today I was watching a video with a man who chopped the woman in her face. Okay. Wow, what's going on down there? Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too. Well, you know, we'll get to talking about it in just a few. Okay. Hey, Kate Hunnett, thanks for joining. All right. Okay. I'm just sending out the new live, guys. All right. Hey, hey, Empress. Hey, what's up? Okay, nice to have you. Hey, Charmonique, thanks for joining, girl. Okay, I see the live. It's going. All right. All right, guys. So without further ado, we're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna get started. All right. So I just want to say welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining my first live. This is very new to me, and if there are any hiccups or anything along the way, just bear with me. I'm sure as I go further into this, I'll get better at it. All right. So today we want to have, a lively yet well needed discussion on the training issue that's plaguing our women, and that is violence against us. It's not enough to just have a conversation about it because a lot of times, these conversations they just fall through the cracks and they dry up, and there's no action behind it. So we need some action. We need some solutions, and today I want us to think about how can each of us take part in that solution, right? You know, in last year, 2020, you know, the whole world basically looked like it was crashing, right? And the entire focus was on COVID. Now we're in 2021, the focus is still on COVID and much more crime. It's just crazy. And especially, it is, you know, crime against our women. So now we see that, listen, man, the devil is busier than ever. He is just roaming the streets and he is just I don't know what is getting into the minds of these men, and it's all over. It's not just Jamaica; it's everywhere. America, Ghana, it's just worldwide. But because we're Jamaicans and we have family back home, we have sisters, mothers, cousins, aunts. We just feeling it so much more, and you know today we just want to talk about it and just see how best we can solve it, each of us. So, I know many of us have been reading the news, every day we're hearing just the attacks on women. And, you know, it comes in different forms. We have like, domestic abuse within relationships. There are women who are in relationships, they want to leave, but they are afraid to leave. We have women who want to leave just because maybe they say, okay, this relationship no longer serves me, so I want to get out of it. You have children being assaulted. It's just crazy. You have young adult women, probably they just sweep them off the street, or older men preying on these women and just trying to be nice to them and say, okay, I am doing this for you, so what are you doing for me, basically, you know. And nowadays the physical abuse it has turned into death. And so it's our cry today, to just for men to stop killing our women, and can you imagine if we were to do the same thing to men? Can you imagine there would be no men left? There would be no men left in Jamaica or probably worldwide. So when the man them kill off the woman them now, like what are they expecting to happen? So today we just want to get into it. And to help me flesh out this live, I've invited two of my friends, my dearest friends, Paula and Lisa. And so they're gonna, join with me today and let us have a meaningful discussion about this topic. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add. So here, all
Hello.
right, all right. Hello, guys.
Hi.
All right. Lisa, your mic is mute.
Hello.
Hi,
Okay.
Lisa. You can hear me,
All right.
Kylie?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can
I
hear you
can.
loud and
Okay.
clear.
Mhm.
Okay. So thank you guys for joining me today. I so appreciated, when I reached out to you, you were not hesitant at all to join me. And I'm just hoping that today we can, discuss this issue that's plaguing our women. Um, before we get into, before we get further into it, right? Um, I just want to speak about some of the things that we'll be covering today. So we want to talk about, how do we feel about the current climate of violence against women? We want to talk about, are women to be blamed? You know, Is it that we are in Jamaican terms so licky licky? You know, are men seeing us as their property? You know, is it that the women are playing with men's hearts that is causing
Possibly.
them that is causing this rise in them to want to take vengeance, so to speak, on us? What is it? Then we want to look at our parents to be blamed in how they're nurturing their boys. How are they dealing with rejection? You know, how can they prepare their sons, etc., for our future sons, to maybe manage rejection, so to speak. We also want to look on the precautions. What precautions can we take? You know, Also, what should be done to men who rape and kill women? You know, are we talking about? Do we want to see a jungle justice kind of thing? Should they go in prison and just eat up all these taxpayers' money? You know, um,
No.
do we want the death penalty back in the country? Let's talk about it. We let's talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts in the chat. The good, the bad, the indifferent, and the unpopular, right?
Mm,
And we all have different experiences. So I'm sure we all have different views. All right. And another thing, I want to say is I want to just make it clear to, hey guys, let's keep it clean. Okay?
okay.
Let's keep um, certain conversations clean as possible so that, you know, we can share to other people and other people don't feel offended about any use of any foul language or anything like that. All right. So, guys, just before we get into it, I see a few people here on the live. Can you just hit that like button? Hit that like button, guys, and share it with your friend. So while you're here on the live, just send the link to some people, right? And let's just take part in this discussion. And if you're not already subscribed, remember to subscribe. Okay? All right. So let me switch back. Before we get into it, let me just switch back into the comments. All right. All right. So here we have Shania saying, it hurts so much to see that our women and young girls are being murdered. It's like a season for these criminals. That's so true. And again, she's saying she's fearful of her daughter's future. Trust me, if I had a daughter, I would be
Sure,
so
sure.
fearful as well. You know, um, Here we have Kate and it's saying some Jamaican men have issues, the ego, the entitlement, and unresolved trauma. Yes, we have to look out for those. We have to look out for those. You know, um, Again, Baldwin Morrison saying every week a young lady missing. It's so sad, man. It's so sad. It's so sad. Hey, my friend Shanae, that's another YouTuber. So guys, head on over if you're interested in learning Patois, or if you have a friend who want to learn Patois, hit up Chance Patois Academy. All
Okay.
right. Um, let's see. Again, she's saying, okay, my bad. All right. All right. Salome Brooks is in the house. Okay. All right. Nada Shaw. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, Baldwin is saying they should be hanged. All right, we will get to that. We will definitely get to that. All right, thanks, guys. Keep the comments rolling in. All right, so our first question is, how do we feel about the current climate of violence against women? What's going on in your heads as you see, the news? How do you feel? Talk to me, Paula.
All right. Personally, I am so saddened by the constant report of women being victimized, not just in Jamaica, but across all medias that I encounter. And it breaks my heart that women are being victimized in these ways. They're being trafficked, they're being raped, they're being killed, they're being they have to endure domestic violence. It breaks my heart, Karen, honestly. And especially because I am a woman, and
Mhm.
even though I might not have personally experienced it, I experienced it secondhand through family or through the media itself. And the fact that I have sisters younger than myself, I'm scared for them. I have a niece. I wonder what the world is going to be like, because men are supposed to be protecting us. And, to every day get up and read the news and see women being hurt in this way, it really traumatizes me in some ways to see that this is what is going on in the society.
Right, right. I so agree with that. Lisa, what do you say? How are
I
you
want to,
feeling about it?
I feel very sad, but I somehow feel like it's nothing new. I just believe
Hmm.
that because of social media and everyone has access to a smartphone, they are able to report what's happening. But it's something that has been going on. It happens in my community, it happens in your community, but because of the whole internet is available to any and everyone. Whatever happens in other parts of the country quickly spreads. So it might seem like it's a lot more, but it's just more reported cases of something that has been happening all the time.
Yeah.
And now that I didn't even know that it was just I just thought that it was just my community, but hearing what happens in my community along with other communities, you see that something that has been going on a long time and it's a lot and it's just sad and it make
Yes,
you feel afraid.
I'm telling you, I think it it's almost like so many. I think a lot of persons are so immune to it. You know what I mean? And for the privacy of the families, we really don't want to call any names of those individuals who lost their lives basically, because the families are still going through the trauma of it. They are the ones that are going to have to bury these their loved ones. So for the privacy, we don't want to call any family's name, but we know what has been going on. And it's every time I take up my phone and I go on social media, I see something happen to some woman, some child missing, some woman missing, you know, and it's it's like what's going on? What are we eating? What are we doing? You know?
You know,
So
I I agree with Lisa that this is not something that is new, but I do believe that maybe because of the spread of social media, you know, um, awareness, greater awareness is being brought to violence against women, but also it could also influence other men
mhm,
to carry out crimes against women. So
Right.
it's twofold. So whilst it used to happen before, it was not so commonplace, I would say. It wasn't so
right,
commonplace. But we're
right.
grateful for the media that is able to bring it across so that, more people are aware, more sensitized, and, women can take greater action to protect themselves. But I also think that media also plays a role in spreading the violence, and especially because crimes against women are not necessarily being not that they're not investigated. You really have sufficient conclusions to cases. You can't for a particular case that happened last year at the start of the pandemic.
Mhm,
The person still isn't found. So there's no
mhm,
closure for the victim's family. And so perpetrators might feel like they're free to do whatever act they commit against women because it is very unlikely that they're going to be brought to justice. So the media helps with those, I think.
okay. All right. Just Lisa, you were gonna say something?
No.
All right, let me just quickly go into the comment section. All right, so we have Kitanet saying Jamaica has normalized harassment for years, which caused subtle abuse to go unpunished. No, you're left to deal with men who feel entitled to more than catcalling and touching your hand. That is very
No?
true. Chanel says it's so hard to trust them. You
Okay.
know, um, Laura Shaw says really hard to trust, especially the men. It is sad. All right. Um, Mark Morgan is saying it's horrible and terrifying. you know. All right. Um, okay, here we have Merx Morgan again saying, considering the fact that these males, they have mothers, sisters, aunties, and even daughters, I just don't get it. Why are they doing all of this? All
Mhm.
right. So we're gonna get into that and see what let's get into it some further. All right. So let's look at the next question. Do you think women are to be blamed for the violence against them? Are we to be blamed? As I had mentioned before, is it that we're too licky licky? Is it that men are seeing us as their property? Are we playing with men's hearts? Are we to be blamed? Tell me your thoughts.
So first of all, I don't think women are to be blamed for any violence that is perpetrated against them because one, if you say that, then you give men a sense of entitlement that it is okay. So it takes the blame from the persons who are perpetrating the crimes, whether they be male or female, and in this case, talking about males. So if you
Mm.
say, well, it's the woman's fault because she was dressed scantily, or it was the woman's fault because she she disrespected the man. Not that we're saying women should disrespect men, but there is no reason in the book that guarantees that a man should beat a woman, should rape her, or should even kill her for no reason at all. So it's not a woman's fault in my book.
Okay, so you're saying then women are not to be blamed. There's no justification for women to be blamed for the crime against them.
Absolutely
Okay,
none.
okay. Lisa?
Well, I think that they equally play a part in their demise. Why I say that? Because there are women out there who take men for granted. You can't have a man supporting you going to university, taking care of your child, taking care of another man's child. And when you finish university, you say, oh, he has no ambition after you took his money and took his support. Be considerate. He's human. How would you feel if the table is turned? Has turned in your favor. It could be your brother, someone treated like that. So they play on I would say they prey on the emotions of men just because they like them. And who knows when a person get to a point of no return, they snap. So sometimes women out there intentionally hurt men just because they know the man has feelings for them. So they too play a part in their demise, in my
Okay.
opinion.
You
That
know,
that okay. Okay. Go
I
ahead, my guest.
yeah, I want to say in some regards, I agree that women do play some women, because not all women, because
Right.
women, I mean, in a relationship or in a case where a woman is accepting stuff from a man that she knows she has absolutely no intention of being in a relationship, then she is leading that person on. So she has to take responsibility for her actions. But a lot of cases that we are seeing, these women have no relationship at all with these men, none whatsoever.
Hmm.
And because they refuse a cat
But but
call,
but and
yeah,
not to cut you off, but um, sometimes we don't know the backstory because some of these women they actually have some
history.
interaction or history with these men. So um, even the recent one, now just we're not calling a name. This person knew this person. You understand? This person was accepting um, service, then so to speak, right? So a lot of these cases, that we see, they're, what the media puts out sometimes is a pretty picture, right? But in the
or
background, a lot
or a
of things are
partial
happening,
story.
are part of
Mm,
the story. And then a
mm.
lot of times, there's more to the story, you know. So
But
that was my 2 cents where it's
there
concerned.
are also cases where men sexually groom younger girls.
Hmm.
How is a 14-year-old going to consent or not consent when a man that the family knows offers her gift?
Hmm.
How is she responsible for this man's action in any way?
Hmm.
Understand?
Right.
So sometimes, you have to take it on a case by case basis.
Right,
So
right.
women have to take responsibility for their actions, but there are instances where it is completely outside the control of a woman. If you say no, you are victimized. And if you refuse, you know, gifts from certain men, then you are targeted. And we know that this is very common in inner city communities. If a
Hmm.
don approaches you, you can't refuse. To
All
refuse
right,
is to die. To
all right.
refuse is to die. So how is she not responsible when she has to acquiesce? And if doesn't acquiesce, then it's her life or trauma
For families.
constantly for her or family. Yes. So
Yeah.
it's a
But in
case by
those
case basis.
cases,
Mhm.
clearly you know. But in other cases, though, you're accepting things from someone. Like I always hear this saying, beg man money, man
All
give
right,
you kidney.
all
So
right.
remember that. There's
We're
always
gonna we're gonna
something.
keep it clean. Yes.
I think you should go to the comments. This is very
Yes,
fiery. Like a
very
lot of.
it's very active. All
I
right,
like
all
it.
right. Thank you guys. All right, so let's just go into the comment section and see what the people are saying. All right. Um, so Shani says women can't be blamed entirely as it's not in all cases or situation that they are being abused or killed. Okay. And she says some just don't speak up
Fact.
and some believe it's love. Hey,
Mhm.
that's another story.
Mhm.
And Kate is saying women endure abuse. I don't see us killing them. There we go. We're not killing the men, you know what I mean? While we don't condone playing with men's hearts and taking things from them, I will not blame the victim.
I
All
agree.
right? Uh, Empress is saying it's a heavy-weighted question, not necessarily a woman's fault. Yet some women do create atmosphere for these negative incidences. As Lisa was saying, it still doesn't equate to validation for the acts. All right. Thank you,
Agree.
guys. And we have Narda Shaw saying there was a time when men could condemn men who hurt especially children and older ladies. You know, she would heard men who went to jail for these abuses, and they would have a hard time. But no, it is nothing. That's so true. It's so normalized. No,
True.
everybody turn a blind eye.
Mhm.
You know, um, cases. Chanel says cases where a man is being taken advantage of. It's just bad. And as Lisa said, just they'll stop once they are aware that they have contributed to this person's well-being or development. That's I listen. I have seen it. I have seen it where I'm at UE, and these men take the girls to school. They help pay for them school fee. Just help them out with college, university stuff, and they renovate the flat. And after the end of the day, the girls say, "Listen, they're on my level again. I need to move on or find somebody on my level." And she end the relationship. And what the man do? Man kill her. And there was another case where the guy came and took everything out of the room and just mash it up. you know so we really really have to be careful with these things. All right, here we have Nardia saying while women have no right to take what men have, the men don't have a right to take the woman's lives. And I
Mhm.
think women are free to dress as they want. you know Nardia, me like that point because I realize that we tend to say, girls, you know, you need to dress this type of way so
Mm,
you
don't wear
don't
this.
so you don't tempt the guy then to call after you or touch after you or whatever the case may be. That's a natural thing for men. They're hunters, so that's their thing. But why can't women say to their boys as well, keep your hand off of the woman?
Mm.
Why is it that women or parents are nurturing the girls to say, listen, don't wear this, don't wear that, but yet they're not telling the men if a woman say no, etc., etc., leave her alone. So hey, we're gonna get to that question, and Let's see what you have to say about that. So yes, women have a right. They are free to dress as they want, and they should not be attacked by men to say, okay, because sometimes we tend to say, oh, she don't want short or she don't want short skirt. So guess what? She did born to get raped. We tend to do that,
We
and
do
that's
it, but
not
it's not
nice.
right. Hmm.
That's not nice. It's not right. All right. So let's move on to the next question. So next question, talking about, are parents to be blamed in how they nurture their boys in terms of how to deal with rejection? You know, how can they prepare their sons or future sons to deal with those things?
I think so. You
Okay.
know, they always say that a woman cannot nurture a boy to become a man. And
True.
we have so many cases where men are absent in the homes and they're not being taught how to be men, basically. So the fact that the whole family system
It's
is at
broken
fault,
down.
also, yeah, the broken down of the whole family system has contributed to this. So
Okay.
to
All right.
some extent, I would
Okay.
say yes.
All right.
Okay. All
So
right,
for
Paula.
me, I think parents play a big role in preventing violence against women. How women relate to, how parents relate to children in the home, the roles that they give them, the responsibilities. Y- um, some these days, boys barely have responsibilities at home. A lot of the
Hmm.
things that are taught in the home are taught to the girls: do this, don't do that. Whereas boys are free to play games, free to go outside. And as Lisa alluded to, there's a breakdown in the home. Women can't teach men or boys how to be men. So we need strong fathers in the home. Or if there are no fathers, we need strong uncles and grandfathers, to demonstrate to boys how to be men. And, one of the things that you alluded to was rejection. Like it clearly it is a case where rejection plays a role because if a woman says no, this is something that should have been taught to the boys from an early age. When you ask for something and the answer is no, accept no because no is a complete sentence and no does not obligate somebody to give you something that is not yours.
That's
So
right.
yes, parents and family play a big role in what we see going on now. But there is a breakdown, as Lisa said earlier. There is a breakdown.
Yep, there is. All right. I do agree with that. All right. Let me head on over to the comment section. All right. So Salome says the violence we are seeing is a symptom and not the underlying cause. So we
Mm-hmm.
can also take a look at root causes and how to potentially address these. And I think, we mentioned that, it really starts from the family. It's the family who is responsible for nurturing, kids or children. And so that's where it all starts. So we definitely have to, and Lisa also mentioned about the brokenness of the family, the lack of the men in the households. And so who are really teaching these men? you know? All right. And then again, I think there are families who you have, we would say good men, but then them snap.
Yeah, yeah,
Why?
because you also have
You know?
domestic violence being perpetrated in front of children. So when
Uh,
children grow up and see that, like it is very hard for them to take it out of their men. The boys grow to believe that it is okay to beat women, and women grow to believe that if a man is fighting you, then that means that he loves you.
right. And as you said that, Salome says children who grow up seeing abuse are likely to accept this as okay.
Yeah, yep,
Yep.
yep, yep.
I remember when Chris Brown did beat Rihanna, or he's saying that's what he saw in his household, and hey, we know how that ended. All right. Kitanet says, so why they can't handle rejection? If a man reject me after I pay his school fee, I move forward, not kill him. I know, right? So, and Aldon is saying, have you been in that situation, Kay? I guess he's probably saying, listen, you no understand how
Yeah,
it
you know,
is to take up my
we can
hard earned money and
we
spend
can
on this
speak
lady. And then she tell me she just dash me at the trash. I said,
we
no
can
auntie
speak
again.
we can speak hypothetically about things until the shoe is on the other foot.
That is
We can
so
say, well,
true.
I would do this and I would do that, but we really don't know the emotions that a person puts into their investment, into a person. So to be rejected at the end, ultimately, you and I don't know what it feels like unless we've really and truly been there.
Right.
Still doesn't give anybody the right to take a life.
That is true. Salome again said that is abuse in the homes. Okay, homes particularly. All right. Kitten it says Aldon. Okay, so now she's responding to Aldon. So I gave 4 years to relationship, well invested. He messed up, me stress out, but me never kill him. Look at that. So
That's a
why
good
is it that
feeling.
we are not that's not in our mindset. Cause enough time, if a guy, step out on us or do us, do something bad to us, we're like, want kill him, me hate him, this, that. But are we actually going to do it?
Nope,
It's just
nope, very
talk,
rarely.
and we tend to fight with women tend to fight with their words, and men are more physical. So why can't the men be like the women and not, you know? The other day I heard of a situation. I was listening to YouTube and somebody said, I guess the man was cheating on her, the woman upset because he's using money that they should be used in the household to spend on the side chick. And she used what you call it, toilet cleaner and showing him eye and the guy's blind.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, ask her why she do it. She fed up and stressed out and she tired to tell the man to stop embarrass her. So you have some women who actually go out and do that, but hey, she never kill him, still have him side. Sorry.
He still has his life.
All right. Let's go. We have Nardia saying, while there might be relationships at times, there are women and girls who are victims because they refuse to have a relationship.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's the
Exactly.
hard part.
So that is the hard fact. You know, that's very sad. All right. All right. So here we go again. Marks Morgan is saying definitely the home is the first training ground. All right. Empress, societal influences cause men and women to generally behave differently. All right.
Yeah, because
So,
we accept like the way men behave is generally accepted, and the way women behave, they're always police. Don't wear this. Don't wear that.
yeah.
Don't do this. But I mean, a man with several women is acknowledged as somebody to be liked and somebody to be modeled.
Right.
And if it was a woman, the reverse is she's trash or something else. So
That is true. That is
society
true.
influences the ways that we do behave and the behaviors that we accept from both sexes.
I have a question though. At what
Hmm.
point does a relationship turns to be between a man and a woman is money in exchange for sex? At what point that's not a relationship. There's so much more to a relationship or to a family. But you find that a lot of families are like this, or they get this mentality. I give you money, you give me sex, and that's it. And there's nothing else to be offered or to be gained in a relationship. It's just a money for sex relationship.
Yeah. This was an exchange, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. That's a tough one. And that's why we have to be careful with the relationships that we entertain. Because some persons will tell you upfront, and you can know, a lot of women know upfront, this is what it is, you know? So a lot of women willingly, enter the relationship knowing that, okay, this is it. And,
My
you know,
my take on that is like Lisa is asking if it is a transactional relationship. Some men believe that because they are giving you things, they are entitled to other things. Whereas a woman seeing that you're giving her only money, that does not entitle you to certain things, and that's where there is a imbalance because what the
Different
party's expectation,
expectations.
yeah, but the party's expectations are not the same. So when the man is demanding her control over her body or access to her body, and she says no, you feel like, but I give you my money, so therefore I should have access to your body whenever and wherever I want. And she's like, no, but you only give me money, you don't give me love, so therefore you can't touch my body. And so because of that disparity, then people's feelings are hurt. The woman can walk away, but the man might feel like, but I've given her so much money. I should be able to have access to that, which which is a
It's a
conundrum.
thin line. It's a thin line.
Hmm.
All right. I see. I see. Marx is saying vengeance belongs to God. I believe what the world need is God. Our men and women need God in their lives. Amen to that.
Amen
All
indeed.
right. We see. Um, okay, so I see Rowan saying she never kill him, she blind him, and I guess he's saying he's angry at that comment that I made.
I, I
I'm
saw that. I saw.
I'm not I'm in no way saying that she had the right to do this because she could have walked away. I'm just saying, given the situation that we're in, probably the man would kill her. And whereas, she blind him. It's still bad. I'm not justifying it, you know. She's wrong in what she did because she could have just left. But I'm just saying if you're gonna compare, what the men are doing with what she did, it's a little less. So that's where I was going with that. All right. Here he says you got that wrong about a man with a lot of women. Okay, well let us know what
He
is
has
it
a
that
further
we're
comment.
getting wrong.
He has a further comment that
Um,
explains.
all right. So he says um, a man with a lot of women is a man with a lot of women is a man. Okay. So he said that if a man have a lot of women, they are seen as dogs, but the women with a lot of men is searching for love.
Yeah, because
Okay.
when I said that some society looks at men with a lot of women, as a good role model, or
Mhm.
especially in our Jamaican society. So he's saying that that is wrong. And men who have a lot of women really and truly are, as the, as the,
Yeah.
as the, as the saying goes, dog.
Yeah. That is
But he's a
true.
man. He's a man. He's allowed to say that. I
Yeah.
have no comment on that. I just know
that
it's
that
bad.
and
I
that
know it's
that is
bad.
true. That is true. Um it's a it's I guess a double standard.
Mm,
But okay, all right, let's see what Patrice says. Welcome, Patrice. She says rejection starts from they were a baby. The child goes in the store saying, "Mom or Dad, can I get that candy?" The parents say no. The kid throws down himself, and then he
yeah.
gets the
Hmm.
thing, the candy. So I guess it's as you say, it's really starting from when they are young. All right. Empress says Mr. Hall raised a point which is based on the way sexes are nurtured. Many men with multiple partners aren't looking for love at all.
True.
Okay, there we go. So it could be the case where the woman, while she probably, you say, has a lot of men, is it just one guy or she has multiple one time, you know? And then she's she might say, okay, I'm with this person, I'm looking for love, but then it doesn't work out, and then she moves on, and then it doesn't work out. So it just seems like she's just having many relationships. All right.
I want to say that some women, I've heard someone say that I'm dating three guys and three of them still don't make one man. And I would laugh at this comment. What are you saying? It's like she's dating and being in relationship with all these guys. She just like a part of them.
Yeah,
Yalish.
yeah. Okay, Salome says they are galley, so that's our Jamaican term. All
From
right. Then it says, I agree. It's a socialization and gender biases. Relationships are also relative. What people exchange is between them. That is true. That is true. All right, guys. All right. So here she says, people should communicate in relationships expectations. Oh,
And honesty.
people should communicate in relationships. Otherwise, expectations will lead to disagreement.
It's true.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys. Let's move on to the next question, which is what precautions can we take as women to protect ourselves so that we don't end up a victim?
I believe having discussions about violence against women is one of the ways that we can educate uh, women who are in relationships, women who are likely to get in potential relationships. What are expectations and what are norms that they should accept for themselves. And also, as women, we have to set boundaries for ourselves, and when we see persons breaking or breaching those boundaries, we have to know when it is right and good for us to step away. That's one way. Those are two ways I believe that as women, we can protect ourselves, you know. And as the discussion go on, I think and share others. Lisa, what's your take?
I believe that as a woman, we should always strive to be independent.
Yep.
I believe that when a woman should meet a man, there are sometimes red flags going on and she ignores them because he's giving her money and he's taking care of things. And these poverty relationships that people go into always find that it ends badly because you saw the red flags, but because you're unable to take care of yourself, he's providing you with home and shelter, food and everything that you're not able to provide for yourself. You still enter into this unhealthy relationship knowing that this is not the relationship that you want, but because you need someone to take care of you, you enter it. And then when you become confident and you're not able to figure out how to take care of yourself on your own and you want to leave, then is the guy is gonna say, I've invested so much in you and you're just gonna leave when initially you shouldn't have gone in a relationship like that because you saw the red flags. So when you start to just be independent, be satisfied with the little that you have, I find that women can make better choices in the relationship they choose to enter into.
Yeah,
Okay.
it starts with it. It
Thanks
all
for that.
starts with education. Like
Mm.
take your education as a priority, and then you'll be able to you establish your independence. And parents play a big part in education as well. So letting girls know what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. That's a responsibility of mothers and fathers who can tell their girls. Demonstrate what your daughter should expect from men, and also treat them how they should be treated, so that when they step out and are going into relationships, they can say, this doesn't look good, this doesn't feel good, and step away from it, have the confidence to step away from
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. I'm gonna add my 2 cents, but I just wanna get into the comments. All right. So one was saying, as the saying goes, women have a man for every purpose. Okay. All right. Not all women, but some women. All right. Um, Empress says, yes, Lisa, well said. Woman fit stop take man things. Wise up and firm up. All right.
it.
Um, Shania is saying, women living in homes with an abusive partner, get out, speak up, seek help. And as she pointed this out, I think I read somewhere that it takes a woman at least um, a seven times, yeah, 7 or 13 times
I
or
think
attempts before they actually come out. So, we on the outside looking in can say, listen, man, you need to leave, you need to get out. And some of them, they find it so difficult to leave. And we just have to really empathize and
mhm.
sympathize with them, for the women who are in those particular situations. All right, so here we have Advila Meikle, my namesake. She says, you share experiences that will describe genuine love in the homes. That's right. So we have to show what love really is, and as the common theme is that it really starts in the home.
Yep.
Um, We have Chanel says, women stop using men. If it's not love and for long term, don't take advantage of these men. All right. It's a trigger for them. All
True.
right. Okay. So Chanel mentioned, so this is one of the precautions that, we should take. Be more aware of your surroundings. And that's what I was going to chime in with.
Hmm.
So, the minister, Mark Golding, said the other day, listen, mace and pepper spray, they're not illegal. So you probably need to get something like that
Hmm.
and to protect yourself. The tasers, possibly not legal as yet, but we really have to be vigilant. And this is for the women who are not necessarily in relationship with these men, but just living alone or just trying to protect themselves, young girls, young adult women, etc. We have to be vigilant, with our surroundings. When you're going home, make sure that you find your key, before you even reach to the gate or before you reach your door, you find your key. Have those things ready. If you're going into your car, have your stuff ready. So as you just go in and as you reach your car door, you're going in, lock it, put on your seatbelt, right? Look around. When you drive into your driveway, let us come out same time. Look around, check your surroundings, and see if there's anything that looks suspicious or whatever the case may be. We just have to be extra cautious.
Extra
You know what I mean?
careful. Yep.
And when you a lot of times, you can be standing on the roadside, or you're waiting on taxi or whatever, and somebody drives up and say, "Hey, where are you going? I'm going your way. Can I give you a lift?" You know? And it's such a thin line because the person can just be genuinely wanting to give you a lift. So, in that case, you have to just let the Holy Spirit guide you where that is concerned. Because I know there are sometimes somebody will pass and say, "Can I give you a lift?" And me just automatically say, "No, no, thank you. I'm good."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, some people will pass and something just say, "It's okay." And I'll go with them. But
Yeah.
no, in today's day and age, it's all right. You could have nicely come more. You could have looked
No.
sharp and dressed in a one jacket suit and look crisp and debonair and handsome to the gods. No, thank you. Right?
Yeah, I
I
see
will.
somebody in the comments say be less trusting as women, because sometimes
Uh,
it's not strangers that are even perpetrators of crimes against women. It's people that we know.
all right.
So,
So that was Salome saying, be less trusting. Yeah, most times exactly. Most times the perpetrators are the ones in our families,
yep,
people we know,
who are
probably
near
one
to us.
taxi
Yep.
driver we always take. You know, I mean, look at the incident that happened the other day. Is somebody who regularly takes her to work. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So usually, sometimes people we know. All right. Um, Empress, be aware. Naivety causes great demise.
Yeah, because sometimes people are kind to us and we assume, oh, they're just nice. No, these gifts that you're getting, they are motivated from somewhere. And as Lisa said, don't take things, if you take men's money, they're gonna expect to get some honey from you. So they're not just being kind. So don't be naive and think that, oh, he's such a nice man. He's so kind.
Yeah.
No.
And Ketanet says having awareness that abuse is not normal. Find a career and purpose before you find a man. Hence, you won't settle. All right, let's have a clap for that. You know, that's you know. I read something the other day, or was it yesterday or today on Facebook, and the question was said, a man in his 30s or was saying, what advice can um you give to us men who are just starting out life or want to be successful? And many of the men were saying, listen, find your career, sort out yourself first before you take up no woman to drain you or kill you,
Mm.
right? And it's so sad. So the same um advice that these men are giving to these
Those
30-year-old
roses.
men is the same thing that goes for us as well.
Yep.
you know we have to be, as Lisa said, you know, independent and not be so, so dependent on men for every little thing. All right. We have everyone saying, and that's the culture now in Jamaica. If you say hi to to a woman, you have to go in your pocket. That's a
Mhm.
sad reality. Okay, Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey. Welcome. Said you actually need a license. Oh, okay. You actually need a license to use them based on the firearms license laws. Okay, guys. So you need a license to probably use the mace and the pepper spray. Yeah.
Mm.
Um. All right. Let's see. Advila is saying, listen to our children with a heart. Do not be fooled and rush them away. They will find another way. All right. So we have to take care of our own children. You know. All right. Empress saying, listen, okay, here we go. The pepper spray and mace business is going to get tricky. Remember me tell you, a pen can do plenty damage and even other things in a woman's purse. It starts with alertness. Trust
Yep,
your
being aware.
senses. All right, so here we have it. If you don't have no, if you can't get the pepper spray and all those things, okay, you probably have to have a license. You have to use other things within your means. And them always say, you know, a guy come or try attack you, where's the first place you should head to? Try aim for right so sad to say. But yes, aim for right there and it will slow him down a bit. Right? All right. Like you're saying, our men should be protective, but sad to say they are becoming more disruptive. How can we help them? That's a great question. How can we help them? You know, the reality is a lot, these, um, this trending topic that's going around, stop violence against us, stop killing us, etc. The men who are doing it, and they're not watching, most times is the men who are already protecting the females. They are the ones watching.
Yep.
So sometimes, we're doing this live and we're trying to reach out to so many people. But in these men's head, it's not reaching anywhere to them. It's not
Mm.
going anywhere. And I think it's something that will continue. It's something that's going to continue. And I just think
I just
because we
want to,
can't, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I just want to say, even though it might continue, it's a good question that that's coming from the comments, that we
Yeah.
have to find ways to help them. And one thing I think is to find men to model acceptable behavior, either through public campaigns, or through forums in communities that, acts of violence against women are commonly perpetrated. Not that it is any specific, because you have it in all the localities. You have it in inner cities, you have it in upper St. Andrew communities, because men with more money assume more power over women. So everywhere, but you need forums like those. You also need public campaigns to show and highlight that violence against women in any form is unacceptable. So I believe that those are some ways that we can help our men to know that the behavior that they are carrying out are unacceptable, and there are better ways to do so, by having men who are strong and good, who support platforms and programs like this, speaking out and showing other men that there are better ways.
I just want to say
That's
that
right.
some men, before they commit an act, they normally say to their friends, and they will even explain the situation. This is what happened to me, and this is what you can know that they can go over the edge. And if men should be their brother's keeper and just talk to these men so that they're able to change their mind from this, because someone knows when they're about to do something because they tell their friends.
Valid point, Lisa. So in your male circle, when a man is having stress in his relationship, and he's saying, "What a girl I this mean, I'm gonna feel like me never do this." Um, Pull him aside. Don't laugh it off. Don't take it as
Take it
Thomas
lightly.
was blowing off steam. Don't take it lightly. Pull him aside. Talk to him. Try to get him out of the situation so that it doesn't lead to the point where it's not just words no, but actions that he's committing against um is female party. You understand? So as you say, Lisa, friend circles are very important. Some men hear things that the brethren are saying, and it it raises a red flag, but they don't say anything. So silence can also lead men to commit these acts. Whereas if somebody in the group spoke out and said, "No man, you sound straight. Let's sit and talk," or "No man, don't sound good. That don't sound right. That's not something that you should do as a man." You know, so men need to talk out more. Yep,
Yeah. Thanks for that. And Salome said that, mentorship for our boys before they become men is a
absolutely.
potential solution. Yeah, definitely. All right. Let's go on to the next question. What should be done to women, to men who commit these acts against women? Because a lot of times, when it's so gruesome, we say, listen, the man they not forgot jail, he no
give
deserve
him,
jail.
give him to
Him
us.
not fit see prison gate. None at all. Right? As a matter of fact, we don't even want to turn him himself because people want to catch him. Them. Listen, you know, for me personally, when it comes on to rape and assault women, especially children, that is something that is it's it hurt my heart to the core. And when I think about a man is just going in prison and I'll get 120 years or 35 years. Whew, I don't know if I had a child and this man gonna assault my child. I probably went to prison. I probably went to prison. I mean, it's sad to say because I'm a Christian and I shouldn't be speaking like this, but I'm
Hmm.
just saying like how I mean, as Merkel said before, leave all judgment to God, right? And that is the right thing to do. Definitely the right thing to do. But I'm just, I guess I'm speaking from an emotional standpoint. You know, I probably would have just go. I just know say I go in prison
Hmm.
because you know I probably want to find a way to hurt this person, and then I guess you speak about forgiveness and all these things. It's a tough situation, but how do we? What do we? What's the right justice for these men?
You
I would say
see,
decapitation. All you need to do is do it to one or two person, and
make an
everyone will fall in
example.
line.
Make
Yes.
an example of someone. I won't
Yup.
go so far. I won't go so far. But you
There are
see,
some
if
people,
our laws
Paula.
if our laws had teeth, Karen, we wouldn't be in a
Mhm,
situation like this. You understand? Because as you say, when a man rapes a 7-year-old girl and is given 10 years in prison, that
mhm,
punishment does not fit that crime. Or when a man sees a young lady and rapes her and kills her and gets
mhm,
20 years in prison, the
mhm,
punishment doesn't match the crime. Or a
mhm,
man takes away a child or abducts a woman and is allowed to roam the city free because there is no investigation or conclusion to a crime. Listen, this is why your blood is boiling when you hear the question what you should do with a man who commits a crime against a woman because you generally don't see any end or in any fitting punishment through the years. So we want our laws to have teeth, because as the lady in the recent case, the parent, she wants the full exaction of the law. And the reason why she's asking for it because in previous cases before it was never done. So for me, the laws need to be revisited, and we also need investigations to be concluded, and for punishment to fit crimes. I'm not going to go as far as to say decapitate men. But we also need to have instances where examples are made of men who commit gruesome crimes against women. Going to prison and eating taxpayers' dollars is not the solution for a short time. Not the solution.
so can we say the death penalty, quick execution?
I would say that even for death penalty, some people, there are men who believe that they don't, whatever they did, it was justifiable. The woman did me wrong, and even if I die after this, it was well
Mm,
deserved. Some
Mm.
people deep down believe that what they did to the woman is something that they're in their right, and whatever the punishment is, whether it's life imprisonment, they don't mind.
yeah, yeah,
So the death penalty may not even help, because if they believe it's the right thing that they're doing, they
Yeah, but
believe
then,
that.
the death penalty can't. Just as how we say social media now brings greater awareness and also acts as a two-edged sword because it also allows other men to see that these are things that they can do too. Having someone made an example with the death penalty can also be a deterrent to someone who might be thinking, you know, this girl has done me wrong. I'm going to do X or Y against her. But when he sees that the full extent of the law is meted out to someone who has committed a similar crime that he's thinking of, then he might be forced to retract or recant his thoughts and seek other outlets for his anger or frustration. So, somebody being made an example of, or a couple examples, could be a deterrent.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
definitely.
agree.
Here we have well Jeffrey was saying, as a father I would want to kill him. However,
Mhm.
an eye for an eye, not the solution. Harsher penalties, they are needed in Jamaica.
Yep, harsher
Yeah.
penalties.
And Kate and it says execution for rape and murder. All right. Yeah, I believe so. I believe execution, yeah. And I think, most of these men when they go in the prisons, uh, especially if it's rape, them not live long, because there are other persons who there you probably kill them, you know. But uh, until there's something done about it that makes, you know, that something drastic happens, then people are gonna say, "Oh, I can do this and it's okay. Must I get some life and sit in a prison and eat and come back out." So there needs to be harsher punishment, definitely.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so that leads into the next question, which is, how what can the government do to within their reach to assist,
The
protect
laws,
us?
definitely, like revisiting them, ensuring that the punishment that you're going to mete out for somebody who commits a crime against a child, a female, is fitting for the gruesome act that is committed against them. And when somebody has taken a life that they are made an example of, and I'm not saying necessarily kill them, but like 15 and 13 years of somebody's life, that is disrespect to the people who lost a loved
Hmm.
one. That's a disrespect to the person whose entire life was stopped when they had years ahead of them had they not been victimized against. So the laws definitely, public campaigns about violence against women need to be run in the media, and the police should be working with communities, streets. One of the things that affects the completion of cases is that sometimes cases go cold because there's no evidence. And if we had maybe cameras on street corners, could see who the last person this woman was with, or see where was the last place she was seen. I mean, it's expensive for a country like Jamaica, but if
Mm.
I mean, at the rate of how women are dying and being kidnapped, it is something that we probably need to put the capital up for and invest. And government also needs to work with civil society because there are other groups that are there, set up to 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 train, to educate people about how to socialize with the opposite sex, and so
Yeah,
building relationships with civil groups in
yeah,
society. Someone
yeah.
says our laws are outdated.
That's some great points there, Paula. Definitely, definitely. Yeah. So revisiting the laws is definitely one of them as well. Um, yeah, we need a change. We need a change. And just the other day, oh, Let me see. Okay, Salome says the judicial system needs revamping, more effective systems for gathering evidence and bringing people to book needed.
Mm-hmm.
We have Trudy and hey Trudy. He says update the laws, also social programs for young men and parents for young boys to become well respected men.
Yep.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Yeah. You know, I sometimes I consider, will things really change? You know, will they change for the better? You know, do you think that people say we're living in the last days? Will things change? And the other day I was reading a scripture which was Second Timothy 3 verses 1 to 5. It says, "But mark this: there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a, having a form of godliness but denying its power." It says, the Bible says, have nothing to do with these people. We should stay away from these people. And we ourselves should not be these people,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, you know, it's these things are playing out and we are seeing it play out. And, you know, I want us to go ahead now and just wrap up this live and let's just, give our final thoughts. Um, anyone wants to go first?
Well, for me, I am glad that you've taken a vested interest in this, and that as somebody who is a YouTuber, Karen, that you are using your platform to bring a voice to this issue, because for a long time, when one or two cases take the nation by storm, it is there for 9 days, and then things go back to being the same. But
Mm,
here, on your platform, you are bringing attention to the matter, and you are inviting conversation. I mean, it is among a set of people who probably are aware and can draw hard lines, but that doesn't preclude us from becoming victims of domestic violence or violence against us, and we have family members. So being a part of this will help us to share and also, educate others. Um, it is very egregious, some of the things that are happening to women, and this is a time when all of us, nobody has any excuse not to know what is
mm,
going on and to prepare themselves as best as possible. And as we are in the 21st century, we've said it on the platform already or throughout this discussion, women should value their education and independence. You understand?
mhm.
Before seeking a relationship, seek to establish yourself and get your own, so that you are not victim of somebody else's using their power and their money to control you. And for the women who are not in relationships, then it is up to the government and society to protect these women by ensuring that the laws are on the books to protect them and bring perpetrators to justice. Yeah, and also put in place things that will ensure that women feel protected when they step out in their society, because otherwise we just have we're breeding a culture of fear. Every woman on this live has already said, they feel so afraid, they feel
Yeah.
so vulnerable, they feel so exposed, and so it is the responsibility of our government and civil society to protect us. But then we also have a responsibility as well. Don't take things from people that we don't want. You know, as best as possible, walk around being very aware of your society. Don't take things from people that may become potential. Don't like you gave the example of accepting rights. You have to don't just love taking things. You have to
Mhm.
weigh
Mhm.
the consequences. You might know them, but then acts of violence are generally committed by people that you know. So do you really want to go with them? And also the time that you travel at night, whatever you can as a woman to do to protect yourself, be very aware. Be very aware. And as older women or women who are older, we have to teach the younger women. And for the men on this live, like form groups around young men. Help to mentor them, to show them what is good and what is best, how they can become better men. How they can become better men. That's my small take. That's up there.
Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you. Anything you have to say,
Um,
Lisa?
I agree with all of what Paula said. I just want to add that this is a collective effort. If we want to see change, everyone has to give and do their part. I have to talk to my siblings. You have to talk to your siblings. The church will need to do their part. The police need to do their part. Everyone has to do their part. They need to enact the neighborhood watch. Some communities no longer have it, but every organization that's within our community, everyone needs to do their part because it affects whatever they do affects not only them and the victim but relatives and everyone. Imagine going throughout your life in fear. You're afraid to accept a kind gestures.
Mm. Mhm.
We've lived in societies where people show kindness by giving you things, and we can accept things in other cultures, but we are so fearful of accepting them from our own people because of
Mhm.
fear of them retaliating and killing us because we refuse to give something to them. So we
Yeah.
just have to just reach out to each and every one and help whenever we can, and just implore each one to just live with love and kindness.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you for that.
Live with
That's
love.
that's the message of the day. Live with love.
Yep.
That
Live with
is
love.
definitely the message, of the day. And because I like it so much,
Yeah, you're gonna put that up. Yes.
I go put it up right away. You
I
know,
agree. Live with love, man.
we should live with love. That's a key thing because without the love, you know, we're lost. You know, and let's just go forth with that. And let me just wrap up this live and just say thank you to everyone who joined. I am so appreciative. I am so happy that you came and uh, you were so active in the comments. I really
Yes.
appreciate that. This is my first live, and I'm so happy for the support. I hope that you know would have gained something from this, and just share it with someone and just spread the word. You never know who it might reach, right? So thanks again, guys, and we're going to end this live right now. And stay safe and just live with love.
Live with love.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll just end it right there. Live with love.
Bye
All
bye.
right. I just want to highlight one of another comment. Salome says the Holy Spirit is still active. Salvation is still available. God has not closed the mercy doors. He does not give up. We should not give up on efforts to effect change.
Amen.
So
Amen. Yep.
we end with that. And Shannon says love is the key. All right. So okay, Lisa is speaking all facts. All right, Lisa, you
Yes.
get some thumbs up right there. All right, guys. So have a good night and enjoy the Easter. Enjoy the Easter and just live with love. All right.
Amen.
Take care.
Bye bye.